It would just come across here in a straight line, straight to the entrance of the Brentford gate entrance of Kew Gardens. As you can see, there is currently a car parking area, but there are aspirations to make that part of the light touch landing of the bridge.
As the leader of the council, what's your view on the bridge?
I think it's a great idea.
I was dreaming about it when I had a child here and he was so little. I was thinking, this is such a nice place just to go to Kew Gardens in a safe way.
Very exciting opportunity for us to get across to Kew. I've got a young family, just to take them into Kew Gardens so much more easily. A walk along the river on the other south bank would be absolutely wonderful.
At the moment it's £10 million, is the figure people keep quoting.
At the moment it is between 7.5 and 10 million. That's based on square meterage and tonnage as the design stands right at this very moment, but obviously the design gets developed gets developed as we speak, and we try to streamline it. We make it as functional but as attractive as possible, and so we get a good project for a very economic sum of money.
Are you for or against the bridge?
Strongly against for various reasons.
I'm in favour.
It's one of those beautiful views in London. You sit on the point there, you have water on 3 out of 4 of your sides, and you have a vista going all the way down between Kew Gardens and the beautiful island which has the trees on. So it's a particularly beautiful landscape. If you sit on that point with a bridge across it, that would be ruined.
What's your view?
A lot of the bank of the Thames here, especially, you can't actually get to.
Are you for or against?
For about it when I had a child here and he was so little. I was thinking, this is such a nice place just to go to Kew Gardens in a safe way, so I don't have to go through the polluted place.
Is it a realistic proposal, or is it just a dream?
I think it's a great idea, and I've met with the guys who have put it forward a couple of times now, and I've had discussions with Kew Gardens, and they're, like us, are in favour, in principle, to support it. But like us, they haven't got any money. So I think if we can find the money from somewhere, then we'll be able to help.
So there would be space, possibly underneath, for more infrastructure such as cafes, infrastructure that potentially raises money for the upkeep of the bridge.
The council should be supporting this kind of infrastructure.
If we had the money, we would.
Regeneration.
If we had the money, we would. We haven't got the money. As you know, we've had to put council tax up for the first time in 10 years.
Because I live very close to here, and it would be an excellent way of getting across to the other side, to Kew Gardens. I ride a bike and go to Richmond and Richmond Park and various other destinations.
Visually, that destroys one of the most beautiful stretches of the Thames.
That's in the Beholder, isn't it?
No.
I argue
yes,
that...
the place that this is going to look good from is on the bridge. Any views of the bridge destroy the rest of the beauty, whether it's looking that way towards Kew or that way towards Richmond.
I think bridges are things of beauty, structures or beauties, and generally people are smitten with bridges.
Brentford needs to grow, and I think that's the way I go forward, because then we can be more connected to Kew. Kew is a really lovely place, because this part seems to be kind of forgotten.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Are you for or against it?
I haven't formed a view.
A lot of money needs to be spent on Brentford itself rather than on a bridge. When we've got Kew Bridge to go across to Kew, how many people are going to use this bridge going to Kew?
I'm walking with my child and it's so
but how many
polluted.
people will use this bridge?
I would use it.
When you say it's interesting, what do you mean?
It's in the context of it's worthy of consideration.
Be able to get over to Kew and a bit easier rather than walking all the way up to the bridge.
I asked for the business plan, I didn't see a business plan, so I'm not quite sure. That's why I'm not forming a view.
You think it needs a business plan?
Well, of course it does, yes. There's a substantial cost here, and cost against benefit is a prerequisite.
You've turned up today to show your support for it.
Absolutely.
But you haven't come with any checkbook.
I've got my wallet, but I don't think that will cover the price of the cost of the bridge.
I've seen some beautiful modern bridges.
So maybe there's a way
This
of
is not.
talking about...
Potential for business, commercial redevelopment and open space for the people of Brentford. We're having all these new development help enliven this area, which is it's very nice, but it is very quiet.
This is where they think that Caesar crossed the Thames, I believe it's 44 BC. So, why not call it Caesar's Bridge?
Give a very quick and easy and cycle and step-free access across to the other side. Places like Kew Gardens with the various museums, parks and public houses within Brentford. 1.6 million people visit Kew per annum. 10% of them go in through the Kew entrance here.
Because that's where they come from the car park.
But even just 1% of those came.
So if we had the money, we would support schemes like this. But as you know, the government's cut the budgets to all councils, so we can't. And we're putting all our 106 money into schools and infrastructure.
I'm not terribly enthused by the idea of the disruption that will be caused to us. And I'm not sure what benefits there'll be for us.
We actually need this bridge. It will enliven the area, improvement and development of Brentford.
The only real purpose is to get into Kew Gardens, which I think the day ticket is £16-17 each, something like that. And the beauty of being on the water with the geese flying over your head.
I think we need a bridge. I have to do the school run on a regular basis with my children, and the idea of going down Brentford High Street with all the pollution, if I can avoid that, is...
Are you not concerned about it destroying the beauty of the area?
I think that maybe if we can get some consideration on the design, so it doesn't look like it's like like an old dinosaur bone, that would be great.
Which of the bridges don't you like on the Thames?
I can't think of any other bridges to mind which are particularly objective.
Well, why would you mind this one?
Because this is one of the few places left where you have an oasis in West London.
Everywhere along the Thames you could have made exactly the same argument.
No. How many places have a UNESCO site on one side of them in London?
Loads of London is it sort of
the
a
UNESCO site. I'm talking about a World Heritage UNESCO site.
What about Westminster Bridge? There's a UNESCO site right next to it.
But it's not this 2 mile long stretch of green river, is it? This is a particularly beautiful.
I think it's an excellent idea, and all this opposition, I'm quite surprised. We've got all the bridges with cars going across. This is a footbridge. It's for us. It's footbridge for children to stand on top of the bridge and look out at the kayakers and appreciate them, and obviously stand there and watch the swans and the ducks.
It's a public open space. It would afford new facilities for the people of Brentford, but it would also help Brentford economy. Could also help link to the various museums, parks, grounds and gardens here, forming a critical mass with visitors going to Kew, so it could do a lot to regenerate the area.
And there would obviously need to be a full consultation and then planning application. So we're a million miles away at the moment, but I think with goodwill, and there's certainly goodwill from the council and from Kew Gardens, it could be a success, but we haven't got any money.
And it could, if it was successful, could act as a focal point linking to the cultural heritage that we have within Brentford. There's a long history of association with the marine environment. We have boatyards here and so on, and a bridge could act as a major new focal point. Bear in mind the population of Brentford is set to double.
But it's not our idea. We're happy to support it in principle, but we cannot put any money into it. So
we could have a bridge here. What about the people of Isleworth? Why do we not have a bridge across from Isleworth?
We'd like to put a ferry in Isleworth.
Yeah.
Would you like to put a ferry in at Isleworth?
I think it'd be a good idea. Yeah,
which bit?
Up by the London Apprentice, just near there.
There's still the steps there.
So I've had a chat with the leader of Richmond about that, and again we're in principle, but it's trying to find the money to support these great ideas.
Those raise their hands who are in favour of the bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm saying neutral. It wouldn't be fair.
And those who are against the bridge.
time. We tried to slimline it, we tried to make it as elegant, as transparent, as open as possible. Currently maybe around the 7.5 million figure, but it could go up and could go down, but hopefully down. It's very economic, really.
Yeah. But who would you, who are you imagining would pay for the bridge?
People that have a passion for it. Many people actually using this beautiful part of Brentford. It would be really reinvigorated. People would actually come here as a destination, have an ice cream in the summer, more rowers.
The big businesses are on the Great West Road. You're talking about Sky, GSK and so on. And even as it is, the council have had to spend a lot of money just to get those businesses to come along the canal as far as the High Street. So even coming to the High Street, which is half a mile in that direction, the council have struggled to get those people there.
I would even imagine people coming from Richmond, cycle along this Arcadian route, do their shopping in beautiful Brentford and go back.
That there's an inherent snobbery from the residents of Kew about coming to Brentford.
Julius Caesar himself built a bridge crossing the Rhine, which is significantly bigger than the Thames, in just 8 days. So why in 2017, more than 2,000 years later, this should be a difficult project for us to achieve, I do not know.
Are you encouraged or discouraged as the architect? Some have been very rude about your pictures.
Very much encouraged. I think bridge structures generally tend to be very pretty. The design is very much under development. We try to slimline it, we try to streamline it.
Whenever there's a bridge, people always support that bridge. It adds to an area, it helps regeneration of an area. It always becomes very popular. Think of a bridge you do not like. It's a difficult one.
Have you learned something here?
Yes, I feel very positive that people feel so strongly about it, because the only thing worse is ignorance, and I hope it carries on like this.